Okay, so next I'll be back and everything. Obviously, doing me, and I'm gonna talk about some random things. And apparently, paint my nail. How to paint my nails while I'm doing this video, because I'm bored. And I haven't. Insane train is what my hat says. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about crushes in like a minute, but I'm gonna address like a few things. Just like one or two things probably. Try to get this over probably, hopefully, pretty quickly. Yeah, but basically, anyway, so apparently, I did look it up because, the main reason people, like, object and everything for people, being gay and everything, everyone's like, it's a choice and all that bullshit. Yeah, it's not, but anyway, yeah, so, like, people think it and they're only, like, against it or whatever, because they're like, the birth rate is declining. Yeah, it has been for a little bit, and, like, it's only been declining by a little bit, and it's not that big of a deal or a big factor or anything like that. And, like, it can decline a little bit more, because, like, dude, we already overpopulated the Earth, and now it's kind of evening out. It's not a bad thing. And plus, people are having a ton of children, and they had a lot of people got pregnant over the pandemic and everything, so it's all evening out, and everything like that, so it's really not a big deal that the birth rate is declining just a tiny bit. Okay, and then also, comment on the video I just made about, best friends. I haven't been the greatest friend. I'm not always the greatest and everything like that. I messed up a lot, mostly because I accidentally added one of my friends. Mostly because I was talking to one of my other friends, and they had been out for a while, and it wasn't a big ideal, and they didn't mind being outed and everything. But I didn't take into consideration or realize that it wasn't the same for my other friend, who I ended up outing. So sorry again about that. And also, I was just generally an asshole and just not the greatest friend. Not the greatest person or anything like that. Yeah. So that was all my comments and everything about that. And also, best friends are, like, amazing, and, like, don't tell, or anything like that. But, like, my best friend, because I didn't believe, like, my family loved me and everything like that, and I was like, love doesn't exist and everything like that. But they were, like, slowly, constantly, and, like, I tried to get rid of them, and I was, like, a total asshole and everything on purpose. Because I wanted to get rid of them and out of my life, because they were, like, my sole reason for living and everything, because they're the only person who loved me, and everything like that. So I tried to get rid of them, but that didn't work, because they're amazing and solid and amazing best friend that I couldn't ask for and everything like that. So they stayed in my life, and they didn't leave me, even though I was a complete asshole. I don't know how or, like, why they were friends with me. I guess part of it because other people bullied them and everything. So I guess I was part of the reason why they were my friend. But still, I don't know how I was blessed or why I was blessed with such an amazing friend. But thank you for always being my friend and supporting me and everything like that. And I was really fortunate in that department and everything, especially since they questioned their identity and they figured out that they weren't straight or cis, pretty much. And they questioned it and everything before me, because otherwise, I wouldn't have questioned it or thought about it or figured it out for myself for many years, or, like, maybe even ever. Wouldn't have really figured out what was wrong or what was happening. I never found the words or anything else like that. So my best friends were amazing and everything like that. You should definitely thank your best friends and everything like that. Okay, so back to the topic. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get into, I guess talking about best friends is a little bit connected, since I did have a crush on, like, two of my best friends and everything. The stereotype of, like, having a crush on your best friends, I guess it was real in my department anyway. And in some of my friends' cases too, it wasn't, like, a uncommon thing anyway to have a crush on your best friend and everything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna explain my reasoning and what I figured out, why I was having crushes on all these people and everything like that. And I was like, why did I like these people? Yeah, and just over the years, I finally kind of figured out the answer or an explanation and everything, for why I like these people. And for the most part, I just wanted, the reason I like them is because I wanted to be these things. So I'll explain. Okay, since I memorized these people's names and everything, I memorized just about all the names of my crushes and everything. Okay, so I gotta figure this out. Okay, who was my first crush? I was thinking about first best friend. I did first friend, just about first friend I ever made, just about anyway, or at least long term anyway. The one I keep counting as my first friend, Clifton. Yeah, but no, like, I'm making fun of him calling Cliff the red dog, but no, that's beside the point. Yeah, I also can become, like, desperate and everything because I'm lonely, and with hormones and everything, it made me more horny. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm even more desperate for not wanting to be alone and wanting to be in a relationship and everything. But it's not really great, and I need to, like, get myself out of that situation and stop talking to people and everything, because I did reconnect with my first friend Clifton for a little bit, but then I had to detach myself and everything from that situation, because like I did with most of my crushes and everything, it's all in my head. I convince myself that I like someone when I don't actually like them. There's, like, no chemistry, and there's no connection, and there's nothing I like about them whatsoever, really. There's, like, one thing, like, that I liked about them, but, like, it's not, like, a physical attraction thing or anything like that. I was just like something, I was like, oh, they're not the worst person in the world, and then I convinced myself I like them and everything like that. Yeah, it's a total wreck, no. So it was a complete mess. Yeah. And that was what was started to happen after I talked about everything and vented my anger and everything, and had reconnected with Clifton and everything like that. I reconnected and we were good terms and everything. But then I was like, dang it. And I'm starting to convince myself that we can be a relationship and all this crap. And I was like, no, that's not going to be good for me. It's not healthy. I need to get out. I need to block you and get out of this and never talk to you again. Because otherwise, my desperate, I don't want to be alone, will come into effect and take full control. And then I'll be in a relationship that I can't be in a relationship because I'm too much of a wreck and I can't deal with my own problems. I definitely can't deal with anyone else. I don't deal with my feelings at all, so it doesn't work. Okay, but back to my first crush ever I had, and not like my first friend, and I counted everything like that. Okay, so first crush was Peyton. What was his last name? Yeah, no memory. Oh, Bennett. I finally remembered. Yeah, I remembered. I found out and learned the last names of a few people I hated, and then the people I had crushes on. Yeah. So I liked him in like, yeah, it was right around like first grade. Yeah, it was right around first grade. I had a crush on him for a little bit. And then I figured out why. I got over him pretty quickly. Like, most of my crushes only lasted like a few weeks or like a few months or whatever. Yeah. Except when I was really desperate, then they would like last for like 2 years or something crazy like that. But like it wasn't really constant or anything, so it'd just be like a few weeks or a few months during and throughout the 2 years. Yeah. And there was the longest one. I had a longest crush on someone for a while, just because I was super depressed at the time. So I was super desperate and everything like that. Okay, back to Peyton. So I only liked him because he's popular and everyone liked him. Yeah, and I didn't really have any friends. Yeah, I met my best friend, and that was it. And everyone else was mostly just their friend. And they kind of just all like tolerated me and everything like that. But we weren't like super close or anything, so they were all kind of friends. Having in most cases, I was just friends with a lot of people by just association, just because we had like a friend group or whatever, and we all hung out and talked together. That was the case with most of my friends, but yeah, so I just had my best friend and all of their friends, you know. But I wasn't popular or anything like that, and I mostly just played by myself, or just with like my best friend, and that was it. So yeah, I liked him because he's popular. Okay, next, second grade. Yes, that's the next year. Yeah, okay, so my next crush was in second grade. It was on, dang it. Sam. Yep, last name escapes me. Yep, I'm thinking Holt or something. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, I don't know. It was just Sam. Full name Samuel. We had a lot of Sams. There was like a lot of Johnnies, and then you had to like shorten people's last names and everything like that. You'd be like, one's Johnny, and then one's John, and one's Jonathan, because there were 3 different ones, just to like separate it, and so the teachers wouldn't all be confused, and they wouldn't all be confused. But yeah, we had 2 different Sams. We had one Sam Manuel, and I don't think that one. I think I'm saying the last name correctly, and it wasn't him. Anyway, it was a redhead kid, and it was mostly just because everyone put him and me together, and he was like, he looked okay, but I mostly liked that, I used to hiss at people. Yeah, I could make like cat noises and everything. I couldn't really growl or anything, but I would like make hissing noise and everything, and he'd run away, and I played tag, and he ran away from me, and that was fun. Yeah. So I had a crush on him because I played like that, and mostly just because people put him together, and like, he wasn't ugly. Yeah. So I had a crush on him, and then, let me see. Yeah, he was also friends with the popular kid, so that was part of it. But yeah, mostly because I played tag with him, and everyone would put us together because we both had red hair. Yeah. So that's why I had a crush on him. Then let me see. Then in like 4th grade, yeah. I liked. Who did I like? What is your name? Dang it, I don't remember your name. It escapes me. Dang it. Okay, because I was friends with this kid Matt. In my first kindergarten. Yeah, because I had to go to kindergarten twice. I was held back. Parents held me back because I got tripped up and I kept forgetting what number I was counting on, and I couldn't count to 100 very well, because I would be like, I'd get into like the 40s and like the 50s and the 60s and like the 70s, and then like I would count all the way up to like 80, and then I would forget that I was on 80, that I would do like 79, and when I was counting, and then I would be like, I don't remember what comes next. Did I finish 79, or am I back on 70? And so then I'd be like, oh, I'm on 70 again. So I'd start counting from 70 back to 79, and then I would switch on to 80. So I just recounted a lot of times. Okay, yeah. And I couldn't really like spell that great. I still can't. Yeah, I suck at spelling and things like that. Yeah. So I was just held back for a year. And everything like that. But I was also born later in the year and everything. So yeah. Yeah. but it was a good thing that that worked out and everything because I was able to meet my best friend. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met them. Yeah. Sorry, back to what I was talking about before. Yes, focus. Me focusing. Yep, not really happening. Um, Dang, it's not Haley. Dang it, that's not people's name. That's a friend. Haley Trout, like the fish. That's how I remember people. Yeah. No, it's not Haley. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. His name is gone. It's gone. Well, anyway, I can't remember him. I liked him because he was super tall, and almost everyone had a crush on him, mostly because he was really tall. Yeah, I only liked him because he was tall, and I wanted to be tall, so I had a crush on him. And it lasted like a day or two or whatever. Yeah. I think it happened like 3rd or 4th grade, and then I also had a crush on this other kid, Skyler. I hated his guts though. He was also a kid, and I hated him. I had a crush on him for like a few days or maybe a week at most. And I still hated him the entire time I had a crush on him, but I had a crush on him because almost everyone had a crush on him, and he's popular and he was good at sports. So I liked him. That was it. That was only it. I was like, I am jealous of all of these things, really. Purely, I was like, I had crushes on these people because I was jealous of all of these things. I was like, you have all these things that you have, that I want to have. I want popular, I want to be good at sports, I want to be fast, I want to be tall. So I had crushes on all of these people because they had everything I wanted. I want to be seen as a dude and I want to be popular, you know? So yeah, that was the case for most things. And then I had a crush for the longest time ever. It was really annoying. It was when I was super depressed and everything on this kid, Thane. And then I had a crush on this kid, so I had a crush on first Thane, like 5th grade. Yeah, I was super, super depressed, but I had a crush on him because he was nice to me, and everyone was bullying me at the time, and he was nice to me, and I didn't absolutely hate his last name. Oh, and before that, in like 4th or 5th grade or 3rd grade, back before that, anyway, I had a crush on my like best friend for a minute, and we both like acknowledged each other's feelings, and I told him and everything, but we were both like, we're just friends. We're not gonna explore this. We're not gonna date or anything like that. No, not happening. We're just friends. Yeah. And I liked him because he was my friend and everything. And I thought he might like me or whatever. So yeah, that was a short crush. It was over fast. No, it really lasted long. Before that, I was yeah. Then I liked Thane for a little bit because he was nice to me when everyone bullied me, and his last name didn't sound absolutely horrible. Because I was like, Wyvern was a pretty long name, and like I didn't want to have to like take anybody else's name when I had to marry a dude and take on their name, on their last name and everything. Kind of like when it was with Clifton, I was like, Sunbrum's not the worst last name ever. I could tolerate that, you know? And I was like, your last name isn't horrible. It doesn't sound absolutely horrible. And you're kind of nice to me, so I'll like you. And that was it. That's her thing. And then after that, oh, yeah, I liked Michael. He looked okay. He was short. I only liked him because everyone said that he liked me. There was a joke or whatever going around that he liked me. It was a lie. No one liked me. No one ever had any crushes on me. No one really did. Except for this one dude, Todd. I didn't have a crush on him. It was in 4th grade. I overheard a conversation that I guess I wasn't supposed to. He had a crush on me for like a hot minute. Yeah, but I didn't like me, so yeah, no. We were both in the same. It was in 4th grade, and I couldn't spell. And they're like, you can't spell, and you have like trouble reading, and you're a little slow at writing and things like that. So we have this little group to help you focus on that. Yeah. So he liked me for like a hot minute. Yeah. But yeah, no one liked me and everything, and there was just a rumor going around that Michael liked me. So I was like, since you like me, maybe I like you. Yeah, no. So that lasted for a little bit, just a hot minute. And then after that, I didn't really have any crushes on anybody. Except actually later on, after I'd figured myself out and everything. So this random guy at school, and I thought he was hot. I get really shy, and I just thought he was really hot. But then I'd be like, I have this body, so I can't like him or anything, and I can never ask him out or anything because I'm a top, and I just want to. I think it's really hot, so I would totally just want to slam into the lockers and have that like epic moment, and like in the TV series where they're like, they slam their hand into the locker, and then the girl or whatever in the character, or the bottom or whatever in the story or whatever, they get all flustered and everything, and then they fall in love, and then they make out and everything like that. Yeah, I want to have that moment. It was 100% pure attraction. That was it. And then, oh yeah, and before that, it was around like 7th, 8th grade. Before that, I had a crush on my best friend, which would have been, I thought I was bisexual because of that for the longest time. It's why me and their like childhood friend and everything that moved back, Jonathan, called Milkshake most of the time. Called him Milkshake and everything. That was his nickname, anything. Yeah, that Jonathan, they were really close friends and everything. They dated for like a hot minute and everything. But the entire, like, that was all 6th grade. I threatened him the entire time. Anyway, we like bonded and got along for like one hot minute because we were like, we both had a crush on Faye. We both had a crush on my best friend and everything like that. But yeah, I only liked them, and it was like all in my head, and I was like, in the entire situation, everything, and why I like them. So I was like, I wasn't completely insane. So I'm wearing this hat. But yeah, I totally like them and everything like that because, and the entire situation should have been a big clue, and it's like, obviously, yes, because it was 7th, 8th grade, and I was like, if I was a guy, I would date you. That was the entire situation. It's like, if I was a dude, I would date my best friend. If I was a dude and into girls, I would date my best friend. That was it. Yep. And that was my crush. And I was like, the entire situation revolved around me being a dude, and that would have been a major clue. And I was like, yep, he was obviously right there. We just couldn't put it together and couldn't figure it out. It just took us forever. Yeah. Only until a while after, my friend came out as like bi and transgender. Yeah. So after that, and then I had a crush on my Xavier, my bi and transgender friend. But I was like, I really just like love them as a person, and that's it. I was like, I love my best friends as people, and that's it. I was like, there's no physical attraction whatsoever. I just love them as people, and like they're my family, and I love them. I was like, I'm just in love with my best friend, just purely emotionally, because they're my family and everything like that. And like they're a higher level than my family and everything, because I have issues with my family, and a lot of my family don't accept or love me. So yeah, I was like, I love you. Yeah. But I love my best friend the most because they're closer and they're my family and everything like that. Everything I just said didn't make any sense. Yes. Okay. Being Rick. But yeah. So yeah, that's for all my crushes and everything. Almost all of them were just in my head, and just because I was jealous, I was like, these are things I want, and I can't have them, and I didn't know that, and didn't have the words to be like, I'm a dude. So I couldn't figure it out. So that's pretty much all my crushes and everything that I can figure out. And then all my crushes have been after that have been just of, there's like a few random celebrities, but for the most part, I'm very picky, apparently. I'm super picky about like my type and everything. So I don't like most celebrities, and I'm super picky and like have a different type. So when everyone's like, oh, almost everyone like agrees on like the actor who played Thor as being like super hot. I mean, as everyone agrees, a lot of gays. So yeah, a lot of gay men and straight women agree that like the people who play these different superheroes in the super movies, so like Captain America, mostly just Captain America and Thor, they think they're really hot and everything, but I don't. Yeah. I think a lot of K-drama actors are hot, and I fall in love with most of them because it's mostly, I fall in love with like their characters that they played and just their looks. So yeah, I fall in love with really easily, but almost all of them are just fictional characters. And then occasionally, like just people walking by or like that just pass through work in my last like job and last 2 jobs and everything. I was like, you look okay. It's always sad when I'm like, you look okay. And so I convince myself that they're good looking and everything, and I'll be like, you don't look horrible. You don't look super ugly. You look better than me. So I would like you. But I'm like super low standards because I think I look like a complete monster. So yeah. Me just being a wreck, normal self, you know. But that's all for like my recent crushes. So it's almost all purely online and everything. I'd just be like random dude being like, hey, you might be gay. Hey, you look okay. Yeah, but almost all everyone is just everyone who I like and fall in love with are just purely online, just fictional and just actors and everything like that. Yeah, so they're all just characters and they're fake and everything. But yeah, I especially love Vincenzo. I'm not saying it. It's spelled Vincenzo. I really love that show, and he's like super violent and everything. I'll probably make a video about that and maybe a little bit more about my type, and probably just list all the K-dramas I watch at some point. You know. So I'm being a wreck. Don't be me, obviously. Hopefully you can spread love and love yourself and all of that. Oh, apparently they do this a lot in K-dramas and things. A lot of idols and everything, and this is apparently a lot of hurt, and it means like I love you and everything. It's really cute. Anyway, I don't know, it was my failed attempt at trying to do that. Yeah, okay, so that's all.